from beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Aaron Jones, not one of the bigger backs in the league, 5'9", 208, but he's definitely what you call a downhill runner, and he's able to shed the tacklers there for good yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbinoghene. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers.
He's got Tonyan complete over the middle. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, it's Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little bit, didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there the last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
They're going deep for Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Our game here, the first of 3 on this Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. And remember, you got 2 more after this. We're followed here by the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then tonight, a good one out in the desert, the Bucks and Cards from Glendale.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Noah Igbinoghene.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew's got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. Touchdown! Cedric Wilson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
On a jet sweep, here comes Waddle.
And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Touchdown Dolphins.
Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers, the left side completion to Jones. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Running right, Jones. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll set up a throw.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. Here's Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. 2nd and 9 now. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Sanders' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Congrats on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty.
And now here is another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't.
And this is caught. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Dolphins have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. From the shotgun, a give to Jones.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. To throw is Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The kick by Crosby is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hill. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's at cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just added on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Rodgers.
He has it complete to Christian Watson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And again, it's Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
There he goes, right side. 30, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, this this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other.